We are back at the bathroom and things have moved on. Finally, we're getting somewhere. The tiling has now been done. Nathan and Matty were in here last week when I wasn't here. I was out doing other bit to get the tiling done. As I've said a few times, they've tanked this area here. You can just see a little bit of the tank in there. All that area is tanked all the way around, all behind the valve. So that is in. All we've got to do is just run some silicone around the outside of the tray and get the screen on, get the 2 shower points on and the valve head on. Then we can get the towel rail in place. We've got that all set, so that's a case of dropping it on, bolting it to the floor and cracking on with that. And then we've got the units ready to go in there. The units are coming tomorrow. They're in storage over at Plum Base. The lads are moving them around today, so we'll get them in tomorrow. But today we're going to concentrate on getting the shower in, the screen on. There's 1,000 screens, so it will come to roughly about here. Then the customer can just walk in and out into the tray there. So yeah, we'll get that done. Hopefully get the towel rail on and ready for that to go in tomorrow.
Right, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing really well. I'm currently recording this intro sat in a service station on the M1 heading to Leeds to do a charity build along with 14-15 other plumbers from the social media side of stuff at a property up in Leeds where a guy has unfortunately lost his house basically through a fire. So a lot of us have got together and we're heading up there to work a Saturday for nothing to get this guy the start or the push that he needs. And a big shout out to all the companies that are involved. They're supplying boilers, rads, pipe, bathroom, everything involved. I'm filming the whole lot. I've just been doing a little bit now. I'm filming the whole lot. So this video will probably be probably in a week or two's time. But I wanted to film the whole lot as like it's similar to like a DIY SOS thing. So I won't say too much about that, but that's to come. And I'm really, really looking forward to doing it because it's a bit of fun. It's quite a proud thing for me to be able to, to be asked to do it. So after the last few weeks I've had with this bathroom, it's just nice to sort of switch off and do something like this. Anyway, that's for another video. This video, it's the final part of this bathroom renovation, and you followed me on the journey with it. You know how much of a stress it's been for me, to the point of my missus has now booked a holiday in 3 weeks time. So from me coming home and, you know, just being in bits, really absolutely stressed out with everything that's had a knock-on effect on this. So yeah, she booked a holiday and said, right, let's just have a week away, de-stress, which is exactly what I need after that. So yeah, this is the final video in the whole series of this bathroom. Glad you've enjoyed it. I really appreciate all the comments during it, because I have found it quite tiresome, if anything. So a massive shout out to everyone who's dropped comments, and even I've had a few private messages through it from various people that I know. So I really do appreciate it. So without further ado, I'll let you get on with it, because you're probably as sick of this bathroom as what I am. So hope you enjoyed the video. As always, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think to the end result with it. I'm quite pleased with it. I think in reflection, in a couple of weeks time, I'll go, yeah, it looks mega. But at the minute, I'm just I'm done with it, so to speak. So I'll let you get on with it.
So we've got the cover plates for the shower and the handles and that all laid out. As I think I always say on bathrooms, I always like to lay stuff out when I'm coming to fit it, just to make sure we've got everything, like the cover plate, the cap, the screw, and then obviously the plate that goes over the front. Just checking in the manufacturer's instructions, and it says to just put a tiny little bead of silicone on the inside, along the top and down the sides, not across the bottom, because if that plate is in position with silicone on the top and the sides, and you put some on the bottom, if any water does happen to get in there, it's just going to sit in there. So always do it across the top and down each side. So we'll do that, we'll get the cover plate on, then we can fit the handles onto the front of the shower. We will alter the hot once it's all up and running. Obviously to alter the hot, the thermostat's the bottom one. We just pull it out, turn it around, put it back in, test it with the thermostat, make sure we're the right sort of temperature. So let's pop the cover on and the caps on. So we've now got the fascia plate on, that's all on and in place. We've got the lower connection for the riser rail to go on, and we've got the rainfall in the top. I've just been through it with the customer where they want the riser rail to go, and they wanted it on the right hand side, but we've got to be quite wary of where those pipes come out of here round to feed these two pipes. So quite handy, I've just looked at the previous video to see exactly where those pipes run. I knew they were off the middle of that valve, but I just wanted to double check. So YouTube can be handy at times. So we'll get that marked up, get that riser on, connect the head onto it, and then we're onto the screen. So with those bits now fitted onto the shower, we can move on to the screen. Now, this is just a single panel screen with a bar across the top just to hold it in place, rigid and firm. What you've got to do is mark in 10mm. What I'll do is put a little bead of silicone across there, just so that when we fit this profile in, like so, on that 10mm mark, the back of it has got a bead of silicone on it. And then when it's all gone off, later on before I go today, I'll silicone the whole tray in. We'll level that up, get that upright, and then if you notice, what we've got, because these are Metro tiles and they're slightly beveled on each edge, we're going to put a bead of silicone up the back of the profile for where it sits against the wall, and then obviously a bead of silicone down the front. You don't put one internal, just because if ever water gets there, you leave the back exposed and the water will find its way out. But we'll put a bead of silicone on the front and then across the bottom edge in clear. So what we'll do now, we'll level it, get it all upright, get it marked and get it drilled out. That's the profile now fitted onto the wall. We've got the suckers ready because we've now got this glass screen to go on. It's a metre wide, 1,000 wide, so there's a fair bit of weight in it. And what you also have with these shower screens, always check for a little sticker. AquaShield coated this side, so this side has been coated, so this is the side that will sit internally into the shower. Just helps push the water off it and doesn't leave any streaks or anything like that. So always double check with the little sticker which side's going to be coated. Got the sucker pads ready to put on the front, just helps lifting it up, and then I can get it into here. And then what these do, they come with a tiny little sort of strip that when the glass is then in there, you push this little strip into the corner all the way down like so, and it just holds the glass in place. Once that's in, we can then get the bar across the top, which just stops that pivoting movement on the top. So let's get the suckers on it and get it into place. So let's lift this up into this channel. In onto the tray. Right, we've got that lifted in. That just makes life a hell of a lot easier. You get them on Amazon, they're like 20 quid I think. Lifted it into there, stickers on the inside so we know that coated screen is on the inside. We just double check along that front edge is nice and level and square to the edge of the tray, and then, as I said, this pushes in like so, but obviously from top to bottom. So we'll just measure it up and then we'll get that bead in. That's the screen now up in this shower area. We've siliconed down the front of the profile, we've siliconed along in clear on the front of the glass, and we've sealed in all inside the tray. So that is just about finished now. Customers poked their head in, chuffed to bits with it, really happy with it. So that's the main thing. We're moving on now to the towel rail. Now I've just turned off the isolation valves. If you remember, under the floor between the edge of the shower and the airing cupboard, we've got that little access panel in the floor. So I've isolated the two heating pipes, just cut them off and placed the valves into position and put the towel rail into position to mark up all the holes ready for drilling. So we'll whip this out now. Just a case of undoing them off there. As I say, I've just put them in, just dry, just to get the actual perfect position where that towel rail's got to go. Let's get the holes drilled, get this bolted back to the wall, get the valves tightened up, and we can turn the water on, get the heat coming into the towel rail. Right, we're making headway with this bathroom now. Everything's beginning to sort of come together, which is what we like to see. We've got the shower in, we've got the screen in. I sealed that all up yesterday. I've tested that this morning. water coming out there. As I think I said, we may have to, which I think we're gonna have to, fit a pump on this, but that's all been sort of future-proof because of the pipe work coming in this cupboard. We can fit it in there fine. We've got enough head of water in the roof, and we've got the hot feed coming off below the draw off. In essence, working like an Essex flange, but fortunately that cylinder's already got it fitted in. So that's good. Tail rail's on, working, getting nice and hot. We've shut it off because this little room gets a little bit warm, shall we say. We've got the units in now. I didn't film putting the units in. Mark's here doing a little bit. Just put the cistern into position. We're going to begin connecting that up now. We've dropped the durga down a little bit because the worktop's going to cover. We're going to put an end panel on the back there to cover all that in. But yeah, that's coming together now. We've got the waste coming out. We're going to put a sleeve on that, ready for the basin to go in. It's going to be half cut into the worktop. Got the cistern there. So I'm about to connect onto our little pipe down there. This back bit's going to be removable. The top section is going to be removable for the push button, which is in there. Often I say on my videos, a lot of people don't put the bracing behind these concealed cisterns and they move about like that, which then causes the flush pipes to come out. Luckily this unit's got it already in, so it's nice and solid. So what we'll do, we'll come off the cold feed, connect onto here, if you can see it, onto the feed there. We'll set the height going into the back of the pan, and then we can trim this panel out, get the pan in, then we can look about getting the worktop in and cutting the basin in. So yeah, it's finally beginning to come together. It's been a bit of a ball out though. So we're ready now to get the pan in. Putting these in with these concealed cisterns can be a right pain. We've obviously got flexi for the 4-inch that's going to go on the back of the pan there, just because it allows us to move it in and out. I've marked round where the pan's going to go, so I've drilled through with our favourite little £6 for 10 eBay drill bits. I'll put a link in the description below because everybody, whenever I feature these, everybody asks where they're from. But if you go on eBay, I'll put a link in the description below, but if you go on eBay, you've got to be quick because they literally sell out as soon as I put them on. So we've drilled the holes for the floor there. What we'll do now, Mark's trimmed out round this panel. What we did was put that panel in complete, marked around the outside of it where the pan is, stepped in a little bit and cut out, obviously for the flush pipe here and for the flexi here. We will now put the pan about here, connect the flexi on the back, connect that in, but just pull it forward ever so slightly to then slide that panel in. Sounds technical, but I'll put the camera here and film it because you've got to follow the process of doing it all at the same time. Otherwise you'll push it in and the flush pipe won't be connected or the sewer pipe won't be connected. It can be a little bit tricky. So let's put the camera here on that stand, Mark, right? Do you like that?
More stand that way.
Let's do that there. You might be able to follow exactly how we're going to do it. So, put that there. I'll connect that first because they've got some play on that flexi. Right, so that's the sewer pipe connected. We'll push that flush pipe in the back of the pan. Right, we know that's in. So that is now connected up. And if we tighten that and just ease the pan out ever so slightly, and then get this panel in.
Run that saw up there, mate, actually.
You not reckon it's going to go?
Let's try it on. Just tight. It's just tight, mate.
Just whip a bit off it.
Yeah, let's just run that up there, mate.
Come straight down with it.
Yeah.
Pop that panel in place. Like that. Yeah.
That's it, mate.
So that's that panel now in place. All we've got to do, because we've got that little bit of play on it, push this pan into position. And that'll come across a little bit, that's it. And it tallies up. Got a little mark here, a little bit down there, that'll rub off, that's not a problem. But that is where that pan's got to go. We've drilled the holes through the floor. What I'll do now is turn the water on just down there, we can get to that, and then give it a test in position while it's all still exposed, just to make sure all is good. So let's squeeze my fat arm down there and turn the water on. And hopefully it's all nice and dry. So we'll let this fill up, then we'll give it a test. That's the system filled up now. We'll just pull this up manually. Obviously the air button's got to go on the front, but if we pull that up, flushing fine, and then we can check under here. We've got good access to the back of the flush pipe, which is the bottom of the basin. Got good access to the back of the flush pipe, back of the sewer pipe, and where it's running underneath. So yeah, everything's good. We can get this bolted in now, get the front of this finished off, and we can move on to the basin. Worktop's now in position. We've got the toilet in, that's on, working. Everything's good there. We've got the unit in, I've got a cover to go on there. Now, this worktop, when I picked it up, I assumed, should never assume anything. I assumed it was just going to be a wooden worktop, but it's not, it's like a resin. So we've just had a right game cutting out this, and then Mark's downstairs now just cutting out the front bit for the bowl of the basin to go into. But yeah, we've had the angle grinder and everything on this, and then we've had to take little bits off it, but it's in place now. It's just about where we need it. Just going to pack the edge up a little bit, then we're going to set it into position and let it go off overnight along with the basin, and then tomorrow we can connect the basin up, get everything finished off. Things like around the edge there, I'm going to put some silicone down the edges there, and the same there, just to finish it off nice. Have a good wipe down, get it all cleaned, and then it's not far off handing it back over finally to the customer. We finally got to the final part of this bathroom. Touch wood, this is the last day I'm going to be here, finishing the bathroom off. I'm just in the process. I've even had to plug the GoPro into the charger because I just haven't had time to charge my GoPro up, my phone up, anything, because I just wanted to crack on with this and get it done. So I'm just now finishing connecting the waste on the basin, connected the flexes off up onto the taps. It's just a case now we've got that poked through, so I put a little Talon cover on there just to cover the hole up that we went through the unit with, and then obviously we'll have the shelf in there that I've got to trim round. But I'm just eyeing this up now, getting this in, and then just let it go off, get the water onto the basin, test all that. We've also got Nick the electrician coming to put the downlighters in, extractor in, switches on outside, and then once he's done, the rest of the day I'll be cleaning down, siliconing up where I haven't done, just completely finishing it off. And then finally, I'll give you a quick look over at this bathroom. Right, that's it. This bathroom is finally done, finished, and ready to hand over to the customer. So let me just take you in and show you what we've done. So now the lights are in. Nick's just been finished the lights. We've got, as I said before, we've got the shower in there. What was there before, there was a towel rail and the basin was there. So we switched it out, put the remote valve there, head, body one on there, and then the shower with just a glass panel. Little walk through area there. Nice old style Victorian-esque tiles for the floor to work with the towel rail. And we've got a nice unit in there, nice basin. Again, with the Victorian sort of style, with the ridges around it, it just sets everything off really, really well. Toilet, again, with the patterns on it. Same with the seat and the worktop along there. Really, really pleased with how this bathroom's turned out. It's been a pain, it's pushed me sometimes, and there's a few other little things that we've got to get sorted out on it, like the pressure of the shower, but we knew that going into it. We thought if there needs to be a pump going onto it at a later date, it's not an issue. So yeah, finally glad to get it done, have a tidy up, have a wipe down, and hand it back over.